Ever since Russia launched its attack on Ukraine back in late February, the strategic importance of the Black Sea has been thrust into the open. Together, Russia and Ukraine make up nearly 30% of global wheat exports, and much of that reaches world markets from ports on the Black Sea. But with Russia controlling most of Ukraine's southern coast and its remaining ports being blockaded, security across this vital body of water has been upended. But there is one regional group comprising all countries that lie on the Black Sea that could help to address those challenges. Let's take a look at this report. And to discuss the rising importance of the Black Sea region, joining me here in the studio is Lazar Comanescu. He is Secretary General of the Organization of the Black Sea Economic Cooperation. Mr. Secretary General, welcome to Strait Talk. It's good to have you on the program. Since its inception in 1992, how has the Black Sea Economic Cooperation evolved? What are the major successes that your organization has so far achieved, let's say?
I think that through the 3 decades almost to the day since the establishment of the organization, it was established formally on the 25th of June, 92. So since then, the perception, or if you want, the awareness about the importance, geostrategically speaking, of the Bsec organization has been increasing. And why? Of course, first of all, given the fact that the Black Sea area itself is of a significant geostrategic importance. And but I would add, since you're asking me about what has been done in between, well, first of all, I would say that this awareness about the importance of the organization has been strengthening. Also given to some important achievements this organization has been.
Could you elaborate on that achievements? I mean, how it has been successful, for example, in meeting the potential of the region in terms of trade, economy, and energy?
Well, we should start from some basic data. You know, we are an area of roughly 20 million square kilometers. Mm-hmm. 350 million people. Mm-hmm. And it's one of the areas richest in some important natural resources, be it energy, gas, oil, but also agricultural potential. And last but not least, without that meaning that I have exhausted, no, there are many others, but also the Black Sea area is one of the regions of the world with the richest touristic potential. And quite a lot has been done in this respect. And of course, given the geostrategic location of this organization and of this region. Extremely important is infrastructure. And one of the top priorities of the organization in its activity was to help developing the infrastructure in and around and across.
What are the major infrastructural projects in the region currently?
You may have heard about the Black Sea motor highway, the highway, and also the Black Sea ring motorway. And also beyond trying to bring together the member states and to together elaborate and agree upon this type of projects, we've been also, and we think that we've been rather successful in implementing some projects which have to do with the logistic intertransport of the, such as, for example, there is the so-called Bsec permit system, which has been established in 2010, and it has evolved towards becoming an extremely efficient way of helping facilitation of trade among the region. Because, and it was mainly during the COVID-19 pandemics.
Yes.
As you know, practically at the border of each country, a lot of, let's say, border crossing checking and so on were taking place and generating long lines of trucks and so on. And through this permit system, we have been able to facilitate.
General, as we are amidst the Ukrainian crisis, isn't there a risk for these projects to be hindered by Russia's attack on Ukraine? What is your position on this crisis?
Look, from the very outset, first I would say that, the Bsec, the Organization for Economic Cooperation in the Black Sea area, Black Sea region, has been established as a platform for economic dialogue and cooperation. So the core of the activities
is also related to the economics.
The core of the activities is economy, but it doesn't mean that we are living in a vacuum. So we cannot ignore, or we cannot stay and not looking to developments in other areas like the one you've been talking about. And yes, I have to say that unfortunately, these recent developments in the Black Sea area, the war in Ukraine, has been affecting us all, including our organization. And this is why from the very...
Is it hurting your organization's credibility or unity?
I hope we will be able to overcome difficulties which have been there, because I have to recognize, because of this, the crisis, meetings of the working groups where all these ideas and projects are being developed, we couldn't organize them. But this is why, as I said from the very outset, we've been clear in saying that there is an urgent need for this conflict, for the war to be stopped, and so as to allow, including our organization, to come back to the normal activity.
But what would a prolonged Russian attack on Ukraine mean for the Black Sea region and all of its members?
Well, the problem is that, the fact that because of the crisis there, trade across the Black Sea has been seriously affected, as you have been seeing about transport of goods, the fact that the sea has become a risky place in terms of stray mines and all this type of things. So this is definitely something which is affecting everybody. And this is why we are trying to do our best so as to, let's say, that I hope that at the end of the day, but it will be hopefully rather sooner than too late.
Are you in direct talks with the Russian president or high-level Russian officials, or as well as the Ukrainians?
Well, we are under the, let's say, guidance of the chairmanship in office of the Bsec, and currently the chairmanship in office is belonging to the Republic of Moldova, and through the frequent dialogue with them and the other member states, we've been trying to, let's say, to help in bringing ideas so as that people get back to the table. Because, even the most difficult adversarial, let's say, issues, at the end of the day, they can only reasonably be solved through negotiations. And this is what we've been pushing very much. All the messages we, as the Secretariat of Permanent Secretariat of the organization, I myself as the Secretary General of this permits, I've been trying to convey this message both in bilateral talks and also at the level of the organization.
So how would you define your organization's relations with the European Union? I mean, how engaged it is with the Black Sea Economic Cooperation, given all these energy crises, global food security risks,
well,
etc.?
I may mention first that, you know, the Black Sea Economic Organization consists of 13 countries as full members. But the family of the Bsec is much larger in the sense that we have also, there is the category of observer states which are observer, and international organizations which are observer, or sectoral dialogue partners to the Black Sea. And yes, the European Union has been one of the most active partners in cooperation, the EU having got the status of observer to the Bsec, and many of the concrete projects which have been implemented in our region have been implemented with the financial support, direct financial support of the European Union. And this is one of the areas where I, as Secretary General from the very beginning, I stated that I want and I will work so as to not just to continue this good cooperation, but to strengthen it. And I, again, here coming back to the crisis we are talking about, well, we know the decisions which have been taken by the European Union in this regard, and of course we are looking forward to come back to the normalcy.
All right, Mr. Secretary General, unfortunately, we'll have to leave it here. Thank you very much for joining me
Kind
on
of you.
Straight Talk, and
Kind of you.
good
Kind
luck.
of you. It's
Good
been a
luck.
pleasure. It's been a pleasure. All the best.